The higher they climbed, the taller the tree grew, until they could not get back down. Pleased with their magic thus far, the hero twins encouraged Hoon Bats and Hoon Choen to use their like tails in order to escape the terrible height. But when Sun Wukong discovered his new position was little more than stable boy, he grew angry and declared himself great sage equal of heaven and waged war on the heavens. For this treasonous act, he was finally captured and beneath a mountain for 5 centuries. At long last, the humble monk Cao Sang was seeking disciples to him while on his legendary journey to the west. Sun Wukong gladly agreed to him, but the Buddha wrapped a golden circlet around the Monkey King's so that Sun Sang could control him. With the power of these stones, she slew a gargantuan tortoise, severed its and raced to the broken world pillar. One she used to prop the heavens aloft, and with the elemental stones, she sealed it in place. Balance between heaven and earth was restored. That when granted a boon by Brahma, Kumbhakarna wished to take Indra's place and rule the heavens. Indra was jealously threatened, convinced Brahma would let the good-natured giant him, and magically twisted Kumbhakarna's at the last second. In this final fight, Kumbhakarna secretly watches as the enemy team the Gold Fury. In Smite, Nemesis unleashes her on all who oppose her as a physical melee warrior. Eat and be merry, for tomorrow you may die. None adhere more vigorously to this creed than Bacchus. Apollo's third ability is called the Moves. Apollo runs forward and slides on his dealing physical damage and knocking aside all enemies. What are the consequences for their mistakes? They should have slain the wolf beast Fenrir, but they chose instead to him. Fenrir's ultimate is called Ragnarok. Upon activation, Fenrir grows massive in size. Fenrir enemy gods, dealing physical damage and carrying them away. At 5 combo points, his doubles. Fenrir chases down Hebo, but he gets sidetracked by his and grabs that instead. Once he drops, Hebo tries to run, but Fenrir ends up brutalizing him in the end. Her second ability is called F Off. Aphrodite commands all enemies to get away from her. John Kui sought to pit his brilliant against the Imperial examinations, tests to select for the Emperor. With ease, he passed. But when the Emperor saw his hideous he cast the scholar out. For centuries, homeowners and shopkeepers have adorned their buildings with John Kui's for that visage that once horrified the Emperor, now unwelcome demons. Long ago, Feng Yi, a mortal man living along the riverside, watched in dismay as a storm stirred the waters and gorged the banks. It would not be long before the mighty river consumed his village. Both humble and wise, Feng Yi tied rocks to his belt before casting himself into the waters. This act of sacrifice did more than appease the angry river. It promoted Feng Yi to godhood over it. Thus, he became Hebo. As the Glorious One, Uller wields his axe to all who stand before him. It is there that glory is found in the sanctity of a vow, once sworn, never broken, and bound by a ring, no matter how crude, then buried in the earth to weather the ages of time. Uller's passive is called Master. When Uller uses an in either stance, his cooldowns in the opposite stance are reduced. His second ability is called Expose. Uller gains bonus physical power. Athena is a paragon of incorruptible virtue and with righteous fervor. The mighty god of the oceans returns with a lustrous new golden. Lastly, you can now your friends in-game. Thank you for watching.
So it was that the first Grey Wardens drank of Darkspawn and mastered their taint.
We're going to drink the of those creatures.
Now, before you go, there is yet one more thing I can offer you. The stew is bubbling, Mother dear. Shall we have 2 guests for the eve, or none? The Grey Wardens are leaving shortly, girl. And you will be f***ing them. Such a shame. What? You heard me, girl. The last time I looked, you had ears. Ha ha!
Would you like to f*** a midget riding piggyback on a bullymong? If the answer is yes, please proceed to the southern shelf and f*** Midgemong for me. If the answer is no, you are sad, and I have no desire to speak with you further.
Pre-recorded message begins. Ah! The blood shots are f***ing us! Ah! Pre-recorded message ends.